Let me tell you something real. Life has a way of testing you, wearing you down in ways you never saw coming. Little by little, it'll try to push you toward bitterness. Not all at once, but slowly, like water dripping on stone. Time can harden you. As the years pass, you collect experiences. Some beautiful, yes, but many painful. You begin to stack up disappointments like bricks. And if you're not careful, one day you look around and realize you've built a wall of doubt, a wall of mistrust. You stop expecting good things to happen because too many bad things already have. You ever felt that? Like no matter what's coming, you brace yourself, not for joy, but for heartbreak? That's bitterness taking root. It creeps in when you've been hurt too often, lied to too many times, left alone more than you care to admit. And slowly, life starts to feel like a setup. Like if someone knocks on your door, they're probably bringing more trouble than peace. But here's the truth. You've got to fight that feeling because you have a choice. Every struggle, every setback, every scar, it can either make you bitter or it can make you better. Yeah, I said it, better. We don't grow just because we get older. No, we grow because we've been through some things. Real growth, the kind that lasts, comes from damage, from wounds that didn't heal overnight, from pain that forced you to dig deep and find something inside yourself you didn't know was there. Wisdom isn't born from comfort. It's carved out of chaos. You grow through what you go through. But, and this is important, you've got to be willing to go through it. You've got to push through the pain, push through the uncertainty, push through the voice in your head that keeps telling you you're not enough, because that voice is a liar. So listen to me closely right now. Don't you dare give up on your dream. I don't care if the money's not there. I don't care if your family doesn't support you. I don't care if your friends don't get it, if your background isn't perfect, or if your path looks nothing like you imagined. Don't you walk away from that dream. Not now, not ever. It might take longer than you thought. You may have to go back to school, pick up a side hustle, or grind harder than you ever have in your life. You might have to fall and get back up more times than you can count. But if the dream lives in you, if it still stirs your soul, you owe it to yourself to chase it. Don't you quit. Don't you settle. Don't you dare shrink your dream to fit someone else's vision.
This journey won't be easy, but I promise you, when you get there, when you finally see what all that pain was preparing you for, you'll be thankful you didn't let bitterness win. Let's be real for a second. You might not be the fastest in the room, you might not have the flashiest skills, the deepest pockets, or the perfect circumstances. You might read a little slower, move a little more carefully, or feel like you're a few steps behind everyone else. But don't you dare quit, because those things people use to count you out, they don't define you. What defines you is whether you keep going when everything in you wants to stop. There are going to be days that crush you, moments that shake you to your core. Times where life doesn't just knock you down, it sits on your chest and dares you to get back up. But here's the thing no one tells you. The days that break you, they're the same days that make you. Every single time you crawl through that darkness and somehow find the strength to stand back up, you're building something. Grit, fire, strength you didn't even know you had. You're not just surviving, you're being forged. Success takes guts. It's way easier to give up, to stay average, to stay quiet, to shrink into the background and coast. But if you want to do something different with your life, if you want to stand out, rise above, or change your story, you need courage. Courage to be exceptional. Courage to be wise in a world that rewards ignorance. Courage to educate yourself even when people around you tell you to stay in your lane. Courage to know things and still be humble, still be grounded, still push forward when others look at you sideways because you speak with clarity and confidence. Is it easy? Nope. It's not easy at all. It's not easy chasing your dream when everything around you say it would be safer to stop. It's not easy becoming someone new, reinventing yourself, breaking old patterns, pushing past old limits. But listen to me, easy doesn't change lives. What changes lives is consistency, courage, resilience, the refusal to give up, even when it would be completely understandable to throw in the towel. So, if you're struggling, if you feel behind, if life keeps throwing bricks at your plans, just know you're not alone. And more importantly, don't quit. Not now, not ever. Because the pain you feel today, it might just be the strength you need tomorrow.
Let's be honest. Sticking to your goals, staying focused, believing in yourself when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's not easy. It's hard to stay locked in when distractions come at you from every direction. When life gets loud, messy, and unpredictable, it's hard to stay positive when the world around you feels soaked in negativity. When the news, the voices, even people close to you seem to carry more criticism than encouragement. And let's talk about something even harder. Letting go of people who no longer serve your peace. People you once loved. People who once supported you. It's painful, but sometimes necessary to walk away from relationships that are dragging you down instead of lifting you up. Now, let me tell you about the really hard part. Those moments when you fail, and then you fail again, and again, and it starts to feel like failure is your middle name. It's not easy to fall flat on your face and still find the strength to stand back up. It takes something deep, something most people don't talk about. It takes courage. Courage to look yourself in the mirror and say, this isn't the life I wanted, but I refuse to settle. That kind of honesty, that kind of accountability, it's brutal and it's brave. Because here's the truth, to keep going after life has knocked you around, to try again when nothing seems to be working, you've got to dig deep. I mean really deep. Into the parts of yourself where doubt tries to hide, where fear whispers that you're not enough. And you have to cut through all that noise and say, I believe in me. Not halfway, not kind of, unquestionably. Believe in your vision, your voice, your ideas, even when no one else claps, even when no one else gets it. Because yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. But you know what else? It's worth it. Every sleepless night, every setback, every tear you cried behind closed doors while telling the world, I'm fine. All of it. Worth it. And when you finally reach that point where you say, I don't care what it costs, I'm not stopping until I get there, that's when something shifts. Because once your mind is made up, really made up, you become unstoppable. Some people make up their minds to quit. Some make up their minds to settle. But you get to choose to stay in the fight. And that decision, that line in the sand, that's power. There comes a moment in life when you look around at the mess, the stress, the chaos, and you say, I'm staying in it. I'm not backing down. Not because it's easy, not because everything's perfect, but because you've made up your mind. You've drawn a line in the sand. You've looked at your past, looked at your pain, looked at the things trying to pull you backward, and you said, I'm not going back. I've come too far. I've grown too much. I've sacrificed too long to quit now. Whatever the situation is, whether it's financial, physical, emotional, spiritual, you didn't wait for a perfect opportunity. You found a way. When there wasn't a way, you built one. When the doors didn't open, you prayed one open. When the path wasn't clear, you kept walking anyway. That's the power of decision. That's the strength of conviction. Because when you truly make up your mind, it's already done. Long before the challenge shows up, long before the diagnosis, long before the final exam or the tough conversation or the breaking point, your mind has to be made up. You don't wait until you're in the middle of the storm to decide if you'll survive it. You decide before the winds start how you're going to stand. Before the test, you say, I will pass this. Before the hardship, you say, I will endure this. Before the battle, you say, I already won. Because mindset matters. You've got a choice every single day. You can be positive or negative. You can be hopeful or hopeless. You can be a victim or a victor. You can live like a loser or rise like a winner. It's not about being perfect. It's about being committed. And me, I made my choice. As long as there's breath in my lungs, as long as my heart's still beating, I'm not quitting. I'm not folding. I'm not running. Isn't no situation, no person, no pain, no fear strong enough to make me give up. I'm staying in the fight. I'm walking through the fire. I'm showing up flawed maybe, but fierce. Because when your mind is made up, the world better move out the way.
Let me be clear. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to drag me down into negativity. I don't care what's going on around me. I'm choosing to stay focused, fired up, and full of joy. Yeah, I said it. Happy, positive, on purpose. Because you've got to understand something. The way you think, that's the steering wheel of your life. Your thoughts will either take you somewhere better or drive you straight into a wall. We are all where we are right now because of the way we've been thinking, whether we like it or not. And if you don't like where you're standing, change your mind. Seriously, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to accept where you are as where you'll always be. Shift your attitude and you shift your altitude. Start thinking higher and you start living higher. Not because it's magic, but because your mind is the engine behind everything you do. It doesn't matter if you came from nothing. It doesn't matter if your parents told you you'd never make it. It doesn't matter if your teacher looked you in the eye and said, "You're not good enough." Let me tell you something. You don't have to live in their reality. They don't decide your future. You do. You've got to stop living by what other people think is possible for you and start living by what you know you're capable of. You walk different when you expect great things. When you expect to succeed, you carry yourself with confidence. You move with purpose. You talk different, you dream bigger, you expect straight A's. You expect wealth. You expect healing. You expect to win. I don't care what the doctor said. I don't care what the bank account says. I don't care what the critics say. You expect the outcome you want and you show up like it's already on the way because this is your journey. No one else gets to write your story. No one else gets to choose how it ends. You're not some background character in somebody else's narrative. You're the main character in your own breakthrough. So stop playing small. Stop acting like a victim. You're not helpless. You're a warrior. You're not a victim. You're a victor. And listen, your story can still go exactly where you want it to, but only if you grind like you mean it. Only if you fight for it with everything in you. You can cry while you grind. You can bleed while you grind. But you grind your way through it until it bends or until you break through. That's how legacies are built. That's how mindsets are changed. That's how lives are rewritten. This is your time. This is your fight. This is your story. Make it one worth remembering.